Hey everyone, welcome to the best U.S. Mint news channel on YouTube. I'm Son of a Silver Stacker. Today's date is the 9th of July, 2025, and in this video, we're covering over a lot of ground this morning, and hopefully you can keep up, and if not, if I go too fast, make sure just to slow me down using that cog, like 0.75, 0.5, whatever you like. Now, before any of that, if you're new here, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. We're trying to reach a bazillion subs. It's a really big number. I looked it up. It's ginormous. Also, we're always live, never edited, and always unscripted. I never know what I'm not going to say. Now, let's bounce over here to moneymetals.com. Some major stuff is going down in the copper area right here. Yeah, up 3 cents to $5.53 per pound, baby. Come on now, what's going on with copper? Yeah, look that up. Now, gold is down 14.05 to 32.99.70. Silver down 26 cents to 36.68. Platinum down 20.30 to 13.61.80. And palladium down as well, $20 and a nickel to 11.12.10. Down here, you're looking at it in stock, American Silver Eagle, whose premium is $6.69 for a quantity 1 through 39. They got you paying $43.37. Now the buyback, that's the sell to them price, is $37.95, and that is definitely over the 36.68. Now, next up, let's go here. All right, look at that. Copper is $5.53 per pound. That is just incredible. And that takes us to U.S. coin roll calculator. And if you had 50 rolls of pre-82 copper Lincoln cents, that's going to be worth $74.64, almost 65 cents. Ooh, look out. But look at this. If we go ahead and change this to $5.52 per pound, wow, it just jumps up to $90.93. That's $25 face value, folks. That is incredible. What? Yeah, incredible. That is incredible. Let's bounce over here to eBay and see what people are doing here. Now, this one sold on June 12th right here. 8 machine sorted sealed bank bags, $400 face value, U.S. copper pennies, pre-82, 272 pounds with free delivery. Now, they sold that for $965. 400 face was sold for $965. You don't have to melt down your pennies. It's illegal, by the way, but you don't have to melt them down to get the copper value. 200 face value sold for $505 on June 27th. That's about 2 weeks ago, folks. Look at this. Another one sold here by the same seller, $479.39. Yeah, that's incredible. So let's check this out. This is really like, what? Because the bigger the numbers you deal with, the more exciting the total becomes. It's really, so here's 1 million copper pennies. That's $10,000 face. Machine sorted, pre-82, 3 plus, what? A lot of pennies, right? So that's incredible. And they're selling it and with free delivery for $24,243. So I asked the Google machine, I'm like, hey, Google machine, how many rolls are 1 million pennies? And it says here, to get 1 million pennies, you need 20,000 rolls. Each roll typically contains 50 pennies. Therefore, 1 million pennies divided by 50 pennies per roll equals 20,000. Now, check that out, right? 24,243. Well, let's jam that 20,000 in there and see what we get. Yowza! Ow! $36,372.77. Are they selling that for that? No, 24,000. So yeah, are they going to update that? And will the price of copper remain this high? And if so, for how long? And my question is, I imagine people are buying copper. The people that need copper are going to probably buy more before they think it's going to go up. And that also begs the question, what is the United States Mint going to do if, look, we already know the penny and the nickel cost more money than their face value, right? So the nickel's probably 13, 14, 15 cents to produce one now. And if Dr. Copper goes to $5.52 per pound and stays there, well, it's probably going to be 20 cents to produce each nickel, maybe 18 cents, not sure what, but that's incredible because all of our change except the zinc and cents, well, it's made with a copper core slug. It's just a clad coin. That is incredible, folks. So we are definitely on the precipice of something interesting going on. And like I said, you don't have to melt down those copper pennies to get what they're really worth, right? And that would be kind of illegal as well. So let's keep on keeping on. And we go here to the, that's the one, you know it. Oh, and does any words come to mind when you see this particular coin, right? Think about that. And I think the United States Mint is probably going to figure out what to do with the next 2 privy American Silver Eagle drops, the Marine Corps and the Navy. And I'm really focused on the Marine Corps one out of Philadelphia, only because we haven't seen Philadelphia produce an American Silver Eagle proof coin, okay, since, well, from 1993 to 2000. That's when they were being struck there. And then after that, we had 2006 and I think 2011, but those were in a reverse proof finish. So, oh, yeah. And by the way, look at this. If I add this to bag, remember the other day it said it was going to be shipping July 8th. Well, that was yesterday, and I didn't get any notification that my item is shipped. And it's back to July 29. Yeah. So remember I asked you what comes to mind, what phrase or term comes to mind when you look at this? And for me, it's herky jerky. Yeah, that's just kind of sudden stops, sudden starts. What are we doing here? I don't, you know what I mean? It's like kind of like learning a manual, a stick shift for the very first time when you get in there and you try and put it in first gear, and then you almost snap your neck just trying to get it into second or first, whatever it is. It's just incredible. And what are these selling for? What has the mint done to the resale market? Well, check this out. This is a new listing, and it's got 5 bids, 187.50. And can I hold the mint responsible for sabotaging the secondary market? Yeah, probably not. It's going to be interesting to see how far these go down. Look, 239 isn't 269 or 275, so it came down about $40. It seems like here's one for 249. This one in an OGP 449. I see. I love aggressive sellers. That's incredible. 249 there. One bid. 218, 245, 284. But what are they selling for? Right. That's really. I mean, that's what they're asking, and here's what they're selling for. So this sold just yesterday. I have another ended recently. 269 for proof 69. OGP right there, 249, 269. So it looks like there's a little bit of a separation between the proof 69 and the raw format. And really the proof 70 are still selling for upwards of $400. That's incredible. 212 there. I mean, that's a whole lot lower, right, than what we've been seeing. And really, we don't know what the condition on these coins are going to be. We looked at PCGS, we've looked at NGC, and they have no population numbers for their proof 69 or their proof 70. So we're still kind of in the dark. And gosh, I'm holding off. I may sell mine, I may not, and there might not even be a market for it. And what's interesting is, let me take you here over to coinnews.net, because we had some sales number come out just the other day. So this is coinnews.net. This is an article by Mike Unser dated July 3rd, 2025. All right, that was just 6 days ago now. U.S. Mint sales is the title. Anniversary Army 2025 West Point Proof Silver Eagle returns. Yeah, herky jerky. And let's go right here. It says, among the few products the post-weekly sales decline was the limited edition anniversary coin, capped at 100,000 and initially listed and unavailable just a few hours after launch. For the second week in a row, its sales fell, slipping by 131 to 74,716, following the previous week reported drop of 4,119. Now, check this out. These figures, and this is clutch, because we keep hearing this from these folks over at coinnews.net. But I'm not seeing it yet. It says these figures reflect individual orders reported under product code 25APM. All right, we're going to look that up in a second. And exclude, that's a big word, sales through the Mint's bulk purchase programs, with a plural S, right? While no exact total has been published for these channels, Jill Weston, the Mint's Deputy Chief of Public Affairs, she's the one at the fun show taking pictures and handing out the goodies, right? The swag. Jill Weston told Coin News that 10,000 units were allocated to the authorized bulk purchase program. Regarding the coin itself, she added the remaining inventory was depleted less than 5 hours on the initial sale date. Now, we've talked about this before, how there will be a 25, APM with a 040, which is the bulk sales, right? So, no, I don't know what's happening, but remember, there was 10,107 or 117, the initial sales report on June 8th. That was about a week before the June 13th, Friday the 13th release for the Army Privy Mark coin. And there you go. And those numbers, right, who had access other than the bulk folks? And I think those numbers that the bulk folks have are included in these numbers. So we now stand at 94,272. And yes, this coin is still available. Yeah, not sure what to think there. If there are, 5,000, and change left, who's buying them? Because the household order limit is still 1. And will the United States Mint actually lift the household order limit for the Navy and the Marine Privy Marked American Silver Eagles? I don't know, but they probably should make it 2, maybe 3. That way they will be depleting the whole inventory probably on drop day. That's what's going down with that. Now let's head over to the United States Mint's product schedule. As you can see, we are nearing July 10th. That's the next drop for the United States Mint, and they will be at the Fun Show. All right, here it says countdown to the next Fun convention. 1 day, 4 hours, 34 minutes, 43 seconds. Now, there's early birds getting in today. I think that starts at 2 p.m. Eastern. That should be pretty fantastic for those folks being able to get in there today, because that's really when most of the deals are happening. You know, when I get there on Thursday, with my wife and my son, we're going to be live streaming, but the deals I'm looking for are probably, well, they've probably already been snagged, because I go there and I look for uncirculated mint sets from 1960s, 70s, and 80s. I love my uncirculated sets. That will be coming out July 17. That's 8 days, well, is it 8 days from now or so? Yeah, about 8 days. So a week from mañana. And July is chock full of awesome coins and metals. Now, I'm kind of, I think I don't know that I'm going to be in on the Superman metals. I just, not feeling it anymore. But we'll see how that goes. Maybe it's going to be a drop day decision. Not sure. So these Morgan Peace dollars, they drop tomorrow at the Fun Show and online, and we will be live streaming tomorrow. The thing is, with these particular coins, the mint has dropped the mintages to 150,000. If you remember, very first year of the commemorative launch in 2021, those were actually at 175,000, and those sold out rather quickly. And we did a video yesterday showing how Modern Coin Mart and Pinehurst Coins are selling these below what the mint is charging. However, with taxes and shipping, I think that puts them above what the mint is selling them for, because I don't think the mint charges tax, nor do they charge shipping if you have enough orders in 1 year. So that might be the place. Now, let's go to the next step here. Yes, let's go here. And 3 weeks. All right, check this out. July 31st. 3 weeks from, I believe, tomorrow, maybe even, 3 weeks from the 10th. That's tomorrow. Well, the 25th anniversary Sacagawea 2025 golden dollar, 24 karat, 1/2 ounce gold proof coin drops. And yet we have no information. Obviously, the price is going to be to be determined because of what's going on here. All right. And if that goes below, 3,300, it's going to be a little less expensive by about only $50. They jump in $50 increments there. But we don't know the mintages. We don't know any of the particulars here. Image not available. You can kind of see it faint there. Why would the mint do that? We don't even know what the packaging looks like. We don't know what the coin looks like. And yet it's going to be on sale at the end of this month, July 31st. And that's coming up really quick, folks. 3 weeks from tomorrow. What's up with that? And if you go over to eBay, right, 25th anniversary Sacagawea, golden dollar, nothing found that under that matches that description whatsoever. Yeah, drawn blanks, folks. Now, let's go to one last thing before we hit the plus ones. And this came out just yesterday and an email. This is from the Royal Mint. And look at that, Iron Maiden, music legends. And that's pretty wicked awesome. It says, raise a defiant fist in the air and salute legacy of the beast as we celebrate 50 years of Iron Maiden. What? 50 years. And that dude's name is Eddie. It says right there. And look at some of the artistry. Now, I was never into this band myself. Don't like the imagery on it. I never have, never did. But, that's for some folks. In fact, my wife, the first album she ever bought, she told me was an Iron Maiden album. Yeah, that's right. My wife is a Hesher. And if you don't know what that means, that's okay. So I will be buying her this particular coin right here. It's a limited edition of 12,500. And it is kind of cool, actually, the artwork. And, the Royal Mint does a really great job with the trifold packaging. There it is. It's the coin there. And you got, obviously, let me see if I can get, yep. It's got the king right there, Charles III. Rex is king in Latin. And then you've got the packaging, which looks really cool. And I think that dude, whoa, zoom in and zoom out. I want to say his name is Bruce Dickinson, but I don't know that for sure. But there he is. And yeah, that's the coin. And does this pop out? It looks kind of 3D on, I don't know, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But that's the coin that I will be picking up. It's kind of trippy looking, huh? And check this out. This is kind of cool. Down at the Iron Maiden 2025 UK 1/40th of an ounce gold coin is $120. The thing is about the size of an eraser. I'm telling you, it's super small. And let's see here, available to order. Everything is basically available to order except one item. All right. Available to order, currently reserved, and there it is. That's the Iron Maiden 2025 limited edition print, limited edition of 100. What if the United States Mint did that? They're like, yeah, we got some Superman limited edition prints from DC Comics that we thought were going to be cool. Yeah, why don't they do something like that? And people could buy it along with their coin. Now, check this out. I thought this was kind of cool. All right, here we go. This is Royal Mint, and it says here, your chance to win with Iron Maiden. What does that even mean? Well, in celebration of our first coin design honoring the legendary Iron Maiden band on their milestone 50th anniversary, we're giving away an Iron Maiden 2025 UK 1-ounce silverproof color coin. Nice. That's the one to own if you're going to get it, I think. With a limited edition print signed by the acclaimed artist Alberto. And to one lucky winner. Now, it says to be in with a chance of winning this great prize, simply answer the following question correctly. Now, what is the name of Iron Maiden's iconic mascot? If you don't know, well, remember, it's on that gravestone up top, right? What is the name? What's in a name? I don't even know. But there it is. It can be Eddie, Freddie, or Nettie. And it says submit your answers between 9 British Standard Time, I think, on 8 July and 8 August. So it looks like a month. You've got a month to get this in, right? So check that out. That's kind of cool. Now let's go to the plus ones. I've yammered for way too long. Here we are. Bingo, blammo. This is Proverb 12:25. It says here, when there's worry in a man's heart, he should suppress it. Let a good thing convert it to gladness. Absolutely. Because, look, if you got a problem and you can do something about it, don't sweat it. And if you got a problem and you can't do anything about it, don't sweat it, right? Everything's manageable. Just don't use your imagination for worry. It's a waste of time and energy. It says here, a person who trusts in the Lord should not worry about things that are not in his power to change. Rather, they should dwell on good things that will make them feel good and happy. And, well, if you don't know where your happy place is, and if you can't find your happy place, well, maybe, just maybe, think about a cool vacation you'd like to have, or what you would do with loads of cash money. Who would you stoke out? Would you stoke out the homeless shelter? Would you stoke out a food bank? Would you stoke your family out in addition to them? There's lots of things we could think about, like hanging out with family. Yeah, maybe that makes you feel good. Or maybe dinner on Sunday evening at Grandma's house. Nothing wrong with that. We used to do that back in the day. And then we would watch, I think it was the John Boy, the Walton Show. We'd have, I miss those days, I'll tell you, having dinner on Sunday evening at the Graham's house. That was always the fun stuff to do. But anyway, look, don't sweat it. Think about positive, happy thoughts. And that's really what it all is down to. Because you know what? Negative thoughts create negative energy around us. And that negative energy may manifest itself, and you don't want that. No negative actions at all. No bad thoughts. Now let's go here to 395 99.9 Hawaiian Coin News Radio. Whoa, where's the picture? Yeah, there it is. This is somebody that I used to know. And I don't even know how to say that guy's name. Gotye, featuring Kimbra. Yeah, there it is. Somebody that I used to know. Now, with that said, I want to thank y'all for coming. Thanks for dropping by. Don't forget to hit that like button. And if you do like what you hear and see, sub the channel. It's absolutely free. Maybe we'll see you at the fun show mañana. Stacker out.